Hi, authors. Welcome back to Writer's Workshop. I'm so excited to be back here again with you today, learning how we can share our stories with the world. Yesterday, we started our Writer's Workshop learning all about the types of stories that we're going to be telling during this unit. And we talked about how we're going to be sharing stories about our lives and things that we do. So your teachers and I, we were able to read some of your stories yesterday, and it was so fun. We've learned so many things about all of you. That's one exciting thing about sharing your own small moments is that the readers, like me, the people who read your stories, they learn all sorts of exciting things about you. So we really enjoyed reading your stories. We did notice that there were some challenges in our stories, and that's okay. We're going to learn how to problem solve together. So here were some of the things that we noticed. One thing I noticed is that some friends, they wrote their entire story on just one page. They had a whole booklet or they had multiple pages and slides, but they only wrote the story on one. So it was a little something like this. One day, I forgot to bring the markers to the meeting area. So during the mini lesson, I walked across the meeting area, got the basket full of markers, and started back to my chair. Then I spilled the marker all over the kids. Then the kids had to put them back in the basket and went back to my chair. All on that first page. That's kind of crazy, right? I'm reading it super fast. It's way too many words on one page. So instead of spacing their story across multiple pages, they wrote their entire story just on one page. Or some stories went like this. One day, I spilled my markers on the carpet during the writing time. Oh, another day, I saw a chihuahua when I was walking outside with my friends. It was so cute. Y'all, all in the same booklet, they told multiple stories. We want to make sure that when we are writing our stories, we pick one small moment for our booklet and we tell the story across multiple pages. I can always save my Chihuahua story for another book, for another time. So we're going to review some of our strategies to help us problem solve. So today I'm going to remind you that after writers follow step one, after they think of an idea, they have to plan. And we go over the details of planning by touch and tell, sketch, then write. So let's look back at our how to write a story chart. So yesterday, we talked a lot about how we can think of an idea. And when we're brainstorming, we have to think of something that you've done, something that's happened to you. Not to your brother, not to your mom, not to your grandma. You've got to think of something that happened to you or something that you do because it's a story about your life. And yesterday, we talked about how we might think of many ideas, but we're just going to decide on one. So yesterday, we picked one moment to zoom in on. And now we're ready to continue with our planning. So something that writers have to remember is even though we're so excited to share our story, the best way we can do that after we've thought of an idea is we have to plan. We don't just get straight to writing the story. We actually have to plan it out. And so we talked about how first when we're planning, after we've picked our idea, we are going to touch and tell across every single page. And then after we've done that, we can sketch our pictures across every single page. And we'll talk more about what that looks like today. Then after we've planned, then we can begin to write. So first, we have to think of an idea. Next, we have to plan by touch, tell, and sketch. And then we can get to writing and sharing our story. This helps us because even grown-ups, sometimes they get really excited and they forget to plan. And when they do that, that's when we have those stories where they told the whole thing on one page. Or maybe they were just so excited, they told one whole story on this page, and then on the next page they told a whole completely different story instead of getting different books to write in. So, I want to remind you that as grown-up writers that we're becoming, we're already authors and we're growing up in our writing, first we need to think of an idea, something that happened to us or something that we do. Next, we are going to plan how the story will go. And we do that by having our booklet or having our slides or whatever we're writing on, and we are going to touch and tell across every single page. And then we're going to sketch. So you friends are going to help me do that today, just like we practiced yesterday. So I hope you friends remember the marker story that I told you. I had a lot of ideas about what to write about, my burnt toast, but we decided the one small moment I was going to zoom in on was the marker incident when I spilled my markers all over the carpet, all over my friends. So you're going to help me do that today. So first, I have to remember I've already picked my idea. Now I need to plan. So on this first page, I've got to think of what I can tell. So first, I told my story, and I did that with you yesterday. I talked about how it was during our small group time, I was ready to make an anchor chart for reading when all of a sudden I realized I didn't have my markers. They were new markers. I was so excited to use them. So I decided to walk over across the carpet and get them off of my desk. And when I was coming back across the carpet with the markers in my hand, I tripped. And the markers, they just went flying all over. It was like it was raining colors all over. And they were bopping kids on the shoulders. Oh my goodness, so embarrassing. Last, my students were so sweet and they worked together as a team to help me clean up the markers and put them all back. Such helpful friends. So we did that yesterday where we touch and tell across the pages. Now I'm ready to sketch. Now what's important about this sketch part, we're only going to do a quick draw of our pictures because after we're done writing our story, then we can go back and add detail and add color to our stories, okay? To our pictures. So right now, I'm just taking a pencil or a pen and I'm just quick sketching out the picture. I'm not drawing anything crazy or detailed because I'm going to come back to that. Right now, I'm really just doing an outline of people. So you're going to help me do this. I want you to get out your imaginary marker and your imaginary paper, and you're going to help me think of how I could quick sketch, doing those quick outlines for pictures for my stories across the pages. So what do you think I could write, what I could sketch on page 1? I want you to whisper it into your elbow. What could I sketch on page 1 to match the story that I just tell? What do you think? I'm thinking I could draw a picture of how I was sitting on my chair with the whole carpet, with all my friends on the carpet, and all of a sudden I realized, I forgot my markers. I think I'm going to quick draw that. Can you quick draw that with your imaginary marker? And remember, I'm just drawing the outline right now. I'm not going to draw in all details quite yet. I can do that at the end, and I'll add colors and details. So right now, I'm just doing a quick picture of how I was sitting on the carpet, and I realized I forgot my markers. So I'll show you that. Just a quick sketch, friends. It's not in detail. I'm not even using my crayons yet. Just a quick sketch. And I had my face go, oh, to remind me, oh yes, that's when I forgot my markers. Now next, what do you think I could draw next? What did I tell when I was saying what happened next on this second page? Can you go ahead and whisper it into your elbow? What do you think I should sketch? I'm thinking on this page, when I was telling it across the pages, I talked about how I had gone across the carpet to pick up my markers and then I tripped and the markers went flying. So I think I'm going to do a quick sketch outline of me tripping with the markers flying everywhere. Can you get out your imaginary marker and do that with me? Let's do that. Remember, I'm just drawing a quick outline. I'm going to go back and add details later. I'm going to show my face going, because it was kind of embarrassing, the markers. They were just flying everywhere. Now remember, this is just a quick sketch. I'm going to go back and make it really pretty later with colors, and maybe I'll even redraw something later, and that's okay. Right now, I'm just doing a quick sketch. So I drew myself and the markers flying everywhere. All right, so now we're ready to sketch on that last page. Can you remember when I did touch and tell? What did I say happened on the last page? Can you whisper into your elbow, what do you think I should write on this last page? Ooh, I think I heard some of you say that I should draw my students working together as a team to help me clean up. That's a really good idea. I want you to draw and quick sketch that with your magic marker as well. So I'm just going to do a quick draw of my friends helping me clean up with those markers. So helpful. They all help me put them back into the jar. So let me show you that quick sketch. See, I'm not spending much time on it. This is just a quick sketch. So now I've got my picture. So Now we've done touch, tell, and sketch. Now I am ready to write my story. So now when we go back to our independent writing time, now I can start writing the words to go with my story. And what's really nice, friends, is that because I already have my quick picture sketched out, I'll remember what goes on each page. So that's what's super helpful when I'm planning. That way I remember when I'm writing, oh yeah, this is just the beginning when I realized I forgot my markers. And that's going to remind me, I'm not going to tell my whole story on this first page. I'm going to tell it across the pages because the pictures remind me what to write. They also remind me that when I get to page 2, I'm not writing about the time I saw the little chihuahua that I thought was so cute. That's not the time for this story. That picture reminds me, oh no, on this page, I'm writing about when I tripped and I spilled the markers. I'm writing about the next part of my story. So that's why our pictures are so helpful. So now you authors are going to get to do that with your stories. So now it's your turn to touch and tell. And then I want to remind you, you are going to sketch. You're going to sketch what happens first, what happens next, and what happens last. And after that, we're finally ready to write. Way to go, authors. I'm so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see more of the stories that you write about today.